Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, oh. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, bola bhai, hey! Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Who am I? Lord Prem. Vivo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Yo! Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Bye-bye. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey! Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Woo! War praying. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Vishnu Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Kirtan! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaur Prem Oh Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Oh Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Yeah! Kirtan Gauranga Gora Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai 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 Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jai Gaur Hare Nitai Gauranga Jai Gaur Hare Nitai Gauranga Gaur Hare Gaura 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 Hare Gaur, 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 Hare Gaur, 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 Hare Hey Nitai Gauranga Jai Nitai Gauranga Vala Nitai Gauranga Jai Nitai Gauranga Bhola Nitai Gauranga Jai Nitai Gauranga Hey Nitai Gauranga Gaur Hare Nitai Gauranga Jai Gaur Hare Hey Nitai Gauranga Jai Gaur Hare Gaur, Gaur, 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 Gaur Gora, 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 Gora Go, 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 go Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda Ram Nityananda, Nityananda, Nityananda Ram Gaur, 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 Gaur Gaur, Gaur, Gaur. Gaura, 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 Gaura. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Dance, 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 dance. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Chant dance. Yo! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Kirtan, yo! Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Kirtan, yo! Hey, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Wow, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Ram. Gauranga! Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Ram. Woo! Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Kirtan, hey! Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Mahamantra. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. What? Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. What? Okay, boys. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Ram, Rama Ram. Bolo. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Yeah, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Ram. Bola, 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 bola. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Gauribo. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Gaur Haribo. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Gaur. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Om Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Go, 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 go. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Go. Kirtan. Yeah, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Galo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Wow, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. One more. Wow, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Ram. Maha Mantra. Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Gaur Premanandi. Sitai Gaur Premanandi. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Sham. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa. Prari Bhattikacharya Sri Srimad Savangre Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Prari Bhattikacharya Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Prari Bhattikacharya Sri Srimad Gokashoras Babaji Maharaj Ki. Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Hari Bhaktacharya Sri Srimad Satchidananda Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Ki. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrindaki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Premsakaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasade Gopakvinda ki, Shri Shri Radha Krishna, Gop Gopinath, Shamakund, Radhakund, Giri Govardhan ki, Shri Brajabhumi, Shri Vrindavan Dhamma ki, Navadvip Mayapur ki, Ganga Jamuna Maya ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Tulsi Maharani ki, Iskcon beauty founder Acharya, save of the whole world, Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki, Shri Shri Radha Mohanji ki, Jagannath Subhadra Baladeva ki, Shri Rathayatra Maha Mahotsava ki, Transcendental Book Distribution ki, Worldwide Iskcon ki, back home, back to Godhead K, take the 14 worlds with us K, Srinam Prabhu K, Kali Kali Namrup Krishna Avatar K, Gaura Premanande. Glory to the assembled devotees. Glory to the assembled devotees. Glory to the assembled devotees. Glories to Guru. Glories to Gauranga. Kirtan forever. Haribo! Srila Prabhupada ki. Haribo. It may be okay. I think it's okay. Woo. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna. I'm happy to be back. Actually, I'm actually thrilled, it's a good word to have, once again, the darshan of your beautiful deities of Shri Shri Radha Madan ji. Actually, I was fortunate, I could say, probably a better word is I was blessed to be present when Srila Prabhupada installed these deities. You know, I'm 75, that was, I don't know, 50 years ago or something, 40 years ago. I can't remember everything, but I remember when they unveiled the deities, I was thinking, those are the tallest deities I've ever seen in my life. And extremely beautiful. Extremely beautiful. And so aptly named by Srila Prabhupada, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan. We often hear those of us who live in Vrindavan, fortunate to spend much of my life in Vrindavan, we often hear there's 7 primary temples in Vrindavan, established by our Goswamis. I was reading the other day when Prabhupada was living in Vrindavan, preparing to go to the West to preach Krishna consciousness. He was a sannyasi by that time. I think he took sannyas in 1959. So he retired to Vrindavan, not retired like somebody would retire and just chant. He was preparing to go to the West on the order of his spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. At their very first meeting, when Prabhupada was still a student in school, his friend encouraged him to come to meet this sadhu who was in town. And Prabhupada said, I've seen sadhus, because his father, Mohan, he had a practice that when Rajani, his wife, would cook dinner, Mohan, the father of Prabhupada, would open the main door and he called out, if there's any sadhus who are hungry, please come to my house and eat. And there'd be this big stampede of sadhus, some of them genuine and some otherwise. So Prabhupada was a little disillusioned seeing, beggars put on saffron cloth to get money and food. But so he said to his friend, I'm not so interested to come, they were in Calcutta, to come see this sannyasi preach. And he said to his friend, what's the sadhu's name? And his friend said, Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribhajacacharya Sri Shrimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So Prabhupada said, okay, I'll come. So I was just there, Ulta Danga, it's one building the Gaudiya Math had at that time. I just visited, it's been renovated. It belongs to Iskcon now. Hare Bol. So Prabhupada came up with his friend, and as is customary, when you see a sannyasi, even today I find that tradition still, people bow down. So Prabhupada bowed down to this sadhu he didn't know, and even before Prabhupada got up, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur marked him. He saw. He said, why don't you look like an educated young man, why don't you take the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world in the English language? Prabhupada said, what? You know the history. You know the history. So anyway, eventually Prabhupada retired from family life. He moved to Vrindavan and he began writing commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our primary scripture. And every morning, Prabhupada would visit all the 7 main temples in Vrindavan. Actually, there's over 7,000 temples in Vrindavan. After 52 years, I'm still finding new temples. Some of them are home temples. And then Prabhupada would come back and do his writing, and then in the evening, he would go back and visit the 7 primary temples established by our Goswamis. So they're all dear to us, Radharamanji, Radha Govinda Dev. So many temples, but 3 of those temples are very, very dear to the hearts of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And we hear about them in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Adi Leela, chapter 1, verse 19. Etina Thakur Gaudiya Yake Kari Yachena Atmashrat Etinera Charana Bandon Tini Mora Nata. This is very relevant to us sitting here today. These 3 deities of Vrindavan, first one's listed, Madan Mohan ki! That's your Lord and Master. Prandana he, mean my Lord, the Lord of my life. Prandana he. So Madan Mohan, Govinda and Gopinath have absorbed the heart and soul of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the followers of Lord Chaitanya. I worship their lotus feet, for they are the lords of my heart. So why these 3 particular deities? Because first we approach Madan Mohan to become purified in his service. Right now the heart is contaminated. We've been in this material world since time immemorial. So there's some dirt in the heart, like lust and anger and greed. So that's an obstacle to prema, or love for Krishna. So by approaching Madan Mohan, our attraction to this world just dissipates very quickly. And then we approach Govindaji, and we engage in his service, and then this bhav, this love begins to develop. And then finally we approach Gopinath, Krishna the Lord of the Gopis, and we engage like the residents of Vrindavan in pure devotional service. So this is like step by step. First Madan Mohan, then Govinda, and then Gopinath. And knowing the history of those deities will strengthen our love and appreciation for them. Just like when someone joins Iskcon, I say the first book you should read is Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita Ki. Because Prabhupada's the founder Acharya of Iskcon, and everything we do, and everything we know, and everything we hope for has been given to us by Srila Prabhupada. That's the first step. And then we read Bhagavad Gita. Gita means song, Bhagavad, song of the Lord. And then we can go on to Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam. First canto, second canto, 10th canto, hearing about Krishna's loving pastimes in Vrindavan. And then we can even move on to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radhe Krishna Nayanga. Because Radha and Krishna combined as one person in Kali Yuga to come as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki. So Krishna consciousness is always step by step by step. So I thought today, because Kaviraj Goswami first mentions Madan Mohan as one of the main deities, the first deity, because we're so attracted to this world. He's so beautiful. You see him. Your attraction to this world just fades away like the fog dissipates when the sun rises. Your deity is so beautiful, tall and handsome, and Sri Radhika's there, very beautiful. So I thought we'd discuss a little bit about Madan Mohan, his history. Would that be okay? Okay, we're going to go back 5,000 years. Woo, what an adventure we're going to have today. Of course, well, we'll go back to that moment that Lord Krishna departed this earth. It's something we don't really like to discuss very much, but his family's in the spiritual world, so he goes back home to his loving devotees. But when Krishna left Vrindavan 5,000 years ago, that's actually the start of Kali Yuga. When Krishna left, Kali Yuga started. But the main thing is that Krishna was engaged in wonderful loving relationships with the Brajabasis for a long time. A long time. Krishna was on this planet 140 some odd years. And much of that time was spent with his topmost devotees in Braj. So as much as you're attached to something, when you lose it, you feel the pain of separation. Like if I lose a pencil, oh! But if I lose my prescription glasses, oh! So the residents of Vrindavan, they loved Krishna more than anyone's ever been loved before. And Krishna loved the residents of Vrindavan more than anyone's ever been loved before. Paramount of love is in the spiritual world. Not tinged by any material qualities or affection, pure divine love, prem bhakti. So you can imagine, when Krishna disappeared, the Brajabasis, they were devastated. They were just crying rivers of tears. There was the Jamuna River, but larger than the Jamuna River was the river of tears of the Brajabasis. Oh Govinda, feeling your separation. I'm considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain. I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. So Krishna's great-grandson, his name was Brajanab. He came up with an idea. He was thinking, let's install murtis. Let's install deities of Krishna and Baladev and Brinda Devi, etc., in different parts of Vrindavan. How's that going to solve the problem? Because the deity is non-different than Krishna. This is the first thing you learn when you join the temple, right? It's not a statue. The Brahmana boy from Orissa who accompanied the elder Brahmin, remember, to Vrindavan, and the elder Brahmin took a promise in front of the deity, Shakshi Gopal, that I will give my daughter to you when we get back to Orissa. And the deity was witness. The deity was witness. Long story, when they got back to Bengal, the Brahmin changed his mind. I want to give her to somebody else. So this Brahmana boy who was assisting him in the travels, he went back to Vrindavan. He came before the deity. Just see the shraddha, see the faith. The faith. He asked the deity to come back to Orissa and stand as witness that this elderly Brahmin promised me his daughter. He's a pure devotee, maybe 12 years old. He said, Lord, will you come back to Vrindavan, back to Orissa and stand as my witness? And the deity said, yes. The deity said, I will come with you. I'll walk behind you. As long as you don't turn around, I'll walk behind you. And the boy said, how will I know you're there? And the deity said, because you'll hear the tinkling of my ankle bells. So the boy kind of, he's a pure devotee, but a little innocent. He said, Lord, but you're a deity. How will you walk? So the deity smiled and he said, little boy, if I can talk, I can walk. And that's what happened. He followed him. And therefore, if you go to Orissa, you'll see the deity's not in Vrindavan, Shakshi Gopal's, just outside Jagannath Puri. This is not mythology, this is not some theater, some make-believe. This is history. This is the real history of the world that we're interested in. We don't go study in college the history of this world. It's all chewing the chewed, Papa. One war after another, one politician at one point. No, we love the history, the Puranas, the Krishna conscious history, even if this universe going back thousands of years. So Brajanab, he established 16 principal deities around Vrindavan to ease the Brajbasis' feelings of separation. And the most prominent ones were Madan, Mohan, Govindaji, and Gopinath. Now at that time, historically, Madan Mohan was called Madan Gopal. Did you know that? Your deity was originally called Madan Gopal. Maybe you can say sometimes, hey Madan Gopal, and he'll wink at you. Why not? At the installation of Chota, little Radha and Krishna, in Los Angeles, maybe 1969, before the big deities came, Prabhupada was installing little Radha and Krishna. And in the lecture he said, if you worship these deities like you think they're just brass, no, don't think like that. He said, if you worship these deities according to the instructions of our acharyas, one day these deities will speak to you. Prabhupada said, he's speaking to us like 18, 19-year-old boys and girls, like we just shaved up the night before. Prabhupada said, if you worship these deities, one day they'll speak to you. We have to have that faith. We have to have that hope. So it worked, to some degree. People were satisfied. They'd run to the temple early morning to see the deities. But as you know, there's been many invasions in this country. And as a result of these invasions, things have become disturbed, topsy-turvy. So it was in Vrindavan that because of the invasions, the pujaris sometimes had to hide the deities. They'd hide them in the thick of a forest. They'd bury them underground. They put them in ponds. It's painful to hear, but in doing so, they preserve the deities. So, at some point, from 5,000 years ago to 500 years ago, Madan Gopal lay buried under the earth at Dvadasa Tityatila. It's a hill, little hill in Vrindavan. How many of you have been on Vrindavan Parikrama? So you know when you go around, you pass the Madan Mohan temple. It's up on a hill, little hill. It's called Dvadasa Tityatila because after Krishna chastised the Kaliya serpent in the Jumuna river, he was freezing cold. So he went to the top of the hill to get closer to the sun, and 12 suns appeared and warmed Krishna's little body like that. That's the history of that little hillock there. So one pujari dug the earth at the base of that hill at some point in history and buried him there. Here Madan Mohan was buried. We take it, this deity is non-different than the original deity. Pratibhu means same deity. And he lay buried there for 7,000 years. So how did he come out? This is very interesting for all of you because he's your Prandanahe. Advaitacharya from the Panchatattva, he was doing parikrama to different holy places in Bharat, in India, and he came to Vrindavan. And he was sitting under a banyan tree at the bottom of that hillock. When he looked to his right, he saw the top knot of the deity. He saw deity's top knot. That looks like a murti. You're Madan Mohan. And he called the villagers, and they dug him out. And they found Madan Gopal in all his glory. That place still exists. When you go to Vrindavan, you should go to that place. It's a worshipable place. It's called Advaita Vat. You mark that down. Advaita Vat. And you'll see where your Madan Mohan was rescued from the earth. So Advaitacharya worshipped that deity. What? He worshipped Madan Mohan, Advaita. But in time he had to go back because the Sankirtan movement was going to start, so he had to get back to Navadvip. He lived in Shantipur, so he had to go back to Shantipur to assist Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his pastimes of the Sankirtan movement. Krishna Varnam Twishak Krishnam Shango Pangashiparshadam Yagnai Sankirtan Prayer Yashanti Hi Sumedase Haki. That verse from the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam predicts the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. Everyone knows the Das avatars. They don't know there's an 11th. It's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He appeared in Kali Yuga to introduce the chanting of Hare Krishna. So Advaita went back. So before he left for Bengal, he took Madan Gopal to Mathura. And he entrusted him into the care of a Brahmana in Mathura. This is your history, because you're servants of Madan Gopal, Madan Mohan. This is your history. You relate to this. He took the deity and went to Mathura and gave him to a Brahmin family. You please take over the puja. Prabhupada said one time, once the deity is installed, the puja must go on every single day, no excuse. Oh, I'm going on vacation. Oh, I'm sick. No, every day. You've invited Krishna to your home. He's hungry. He's a deity. He's fully conscious. I always say the main rule in deity worship, there's so many rules, right? Always remember the deity is a conscious person. His senses are fully awakened. He's the supreme person. He's your ever well-wishing friend. He's your lover to take care of your deity. So he gave him to a Brahmin, and the name of the man, the Brahmin, was Damodar Chobe. Damodar Chobe. He took over the worship. That's interesting. In the years that followed, the Chobe family treated Madan Gopal as one of their own. It means it was kind of a spontaneous but unorthodox form of worship, but the deity enjoyed it. I'll explain more clearly. Damodar Chobe's wife, who was a great devotee, she served Madan Gopal as if she were his mother. We can't imitate this, ladies. She was pure devotee. She saw the deity as her son. Isn't it interesting? So that's the mood in which she worshipped. We worship in awe and reverence. Govindam Hari Purusham Tama. Hey, la la, she'd say. La la, you know, there was no Gayatri and, you know, la la, please eat your food. She'd cook and put it on the altar and sit there. Take. Lala, you're not eating enough rice. Lala, it's a pure devotee. And she had a son, his name was Sadhana, S-A-D-A-N-A, Sadhana. And she loved both her boys equally. You know, she considered Madan Gopal her son, so she loved her son and she loved the deity. She made no distinction between them. Now, the most amazing thing is that her son Sadhana would play with the local boys in Mathura. They play on the banks of the Jamuna River, because Jamuna River runs through Mathura into Braj. And listen to this. Sometimes Madan Gopal would come with him, Sadhana, assuming the form of a Brahmin boy, to play ball and other childish activities. The deity, he'd get off the altar and walk. Bye, Mama. Lala, where are you going? I'm playing with Sadhana by the river. This is not make-believe. This is not, no, this is factual. Yashadevi para bhaktir yatatevi tara guru. One who has full faith in Krishna's representative, the spiritual master, and the Vedas, to that person who has faith. All these things are revealed. It's not make-believe. They see, tattvadarshi. Tattva means truth, and darshi means one who's seen the truth. There are saints among us who have seen the truth, like Srila Prabhupada. There are authorities, not mundane scientists who are drinking and womanizing and whatever. We take faith in these pure devotees of the Lord. Now, jump ahead a little bit. When Shirup Goswami and Sanatana Goswami came to Vrindavan in the year 1516, why did they come? Because Mahaprabhu asked them to come. He had 6 disciples, the 6 Goswamis, followers. And envisioning a worldwide movement, he set up headquarters in Vrindavan. You go to Vrindavan, write books on the science of Krishna consciousness, establish temples, and find all the lost holy places of Krishna, because they were all lost. It was jungle. So this is what the Goswamis did. This was on the order of Lord Chaitanya. So Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis, they came to Vrindavan, and one of the orders was establish deity worship. So historically, if you read the accounts, they all found their deities in Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami found his deity at a place called Yogapith. You know, you've heard of the pastime. It was discovered underground also. Rupa Goswami found Govindaji underground. Gopal Bhatta Goswami, his deity appeared from a Shalagram Shila. Anyway, they all found the various deities. So, Sanatana Goswami, he was waiting. When's my deity going to appear? The other Goswamis had their... Actually, he was the first. He was the first, actually, Sanatana. He found his deity first. So how did he find him? Well, there are no deities. They're all thinking, when are we going to find our deities? Prandane, the Lord of our life, and establish the worship. as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed us. So the understanding is if you can't find Krishna, Krishna will find you. We may have forgotten Krishna, but he never has forgotten us. So he's always making plans to find us. Pariturnaya sadhanam vinashaya duskranam dharma samstapanat. He comes to this world to deliver his devotees, annihilate the miscreants, and reestablish dharma. So he comes here to find us. So every day, Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, they do Madhukari. They were renowned saints, but they didn't have people cooking for them. I'm just a humble sannyasi, but I got a whole team. They carry my books, they do this, and they cook for me. It's a little embarrassing, but just accept the seva. So they didn't have any cooks, no one to carry their books. They lived in the jungle. They'd go to the little villages and they'd do Madhukari. What is Madhukari? Madhukari means the sadhu. He goes and he knocks on 4 doors in the village. Amaya, hungry. And you'll get some, roti, or some dal, something like that. That's all you can eat. The whole day, you can't, whatever you get at those 4 houses, that's what the sadhu would eat. Simple living with high thinking. So, because Mathura was a little bit bigger than Vrindavan, Vrindavan was just a jungle with lions and tigers and snakes. Where are you going to knock on a tree? Oh. So they'd go to Mathura. This is history. And they'd beg Madhukari. So on one such occasion, to see how Krishna works, Sanatana Goswami, he knocked on the Chobe's door. Remember? Damodar Chobe. The family's worshiping the deity, and they're treating him like a little boy. Vatsalya, rasa. So the lady opens the door. Yes, Maya, hungry, please, my tummy growling. You please give something. And Sanatana Goswami saw Madan Gopal. He was so enchanted. Like you see, isn't it? Your deity, how enchanting he is. When I took darshan, I couldn't stop looking at him. And I always say deity worship, darshan doesn't just mean you see Krishna. Krishna is seeing you. And his glance is very purifying. There's a beautiful prayer by Lord Shiva begging for the glance of Srimati Radharani. Those glances, Krishna can do many things. All his senses are interchangeable. With his glance, he can purify all the nonsense in your heart and awaken your prema bhakti. So a devotee knows he doesn't just go in front of the deity for a few moments. Oh, it's good today, off to work. He stands there, he opens his heart. Krishna, please, look into my heart. Please purify me. Give me seva, bless me, prema. I don't want anything. I'm not asking, just give me service. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. He saw that deity. And Madan Gopal saw Sanatana Goswami too. Another pure devotee. So after a while, he kept coming back to that house. Oh, Maya, hungry. Generally, sadhus, they go door to door, like really for the excuse of getting in the house and preaching Krishna consciousness. And they'll only stay as long as it takes to milk a cow. They're not there, they just want to preach, deliver the householders, encourage them. He kept coming back. But in his mind, he was coming back to see that deity. So he was seeing Sanatana Goswami because the Goswamis were meant to establish, you could say, Gaudiya Vaishnavism for the future. They've written books like Hari Bhakti Vilas, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. These are the guidebooks, how to be devotees in this age of Kali. So Sanatana Goswami was involved in Hari Bhakti Vilas, all the rules and regulations. So when he saw the people of that house treating Krishna like a equal, no, that's not a good example. You know, he was coming off the altar like, whoop, they're wrestling with the boys, So on one occasion he came in, he instructed Chobei's wife in the proper etiquette of worshipping a deity. So in his presence, you in the presence of a You can print this in a pamphlet to the pilgrims. So one night, Madan Gopal appeared in the dream of Sanatana Goswami and Damodar Goswami. In the dream, Madan Gopal said, Mrs. Chobe loved me and her son equally, but on your advice now, she's distinguishing between the two of us, worshipping me with rituals and keeping me at a distance. I kind of liked the other mood. It was more spontaneous. Now it's all formal. And to Chobe, the deities, Madan Gopal said in the dream, I've been with you for a long time. Now I want to go with Sanatana Goswami. You have sadhana, but Sanatana has no one. So next time he comes, you give me away. Oh my God. Ladies, if you had to give away your son, huh? Sometimes I come to the temple, I say, give me your boy. No. So the next time Sanatana Goswami came for Madhukari, Chobe had been given the instruction from the deity, give me away. So Sanatana, Maya, hungry. And there was Chobe with the deity. Take him. What? He wants to go with you, not me. Krishna increases our love for him in separation. So the deity left the house. And he was with Sanatana Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami took him back to that little hillock, to Dasa Ditya Tila, where he began worshipping him under another tree. And then he moved him up top. You know the story, right? He moved the deity up to the top of the hill, and he worshipped him in a little hut. How could you do that? Deities need big temples, yes. But this is a very intimate, loving relationship. Offer me with love a fruit, a flower, a leaf. These things I'll accept. Krishna will accept the minimum, if that's all you have, if you offer it with bhakti. So who has more bhakti than Sanatana Goswami? The author of Brihat Bhagavatamritam, which was the first book of the Goswamis, by the way. All the other books expanded from Brihat Bhagavatamritam, which the BBT has published, and you should all read. So here he is, worshiping. He actually hung him on a swing, top of the hill on a tree. Lord, all I can do today, just swing you. Madhukari didn't bring any food. So word spread, because these Goswamis were very popular amongst pious people. People started flooding Vrindavan to see the deities that the 6 Goswamis discovered, to read the books that the 6 Goswamis had written, and to hear about the lost places the 6 Goswami has founded. But Sanatana Goswami was a renunciate. He didn't have anything, really. So After acquiring Madan Mohan, every day Sanatana Goswami would beg some flour. He didn't beg food for himself. He had to cook for the deity. Right? Ladies, you have to cook for your children, right? Maya, Mama, I'm hungry. So the deity is a person. He gets hungry. Madan Gopal would say, I'm hungry, Sanatan. So he'd go beg flour and make little balls of dough and throw them into an open fire, boil some vegetables he picked in the jungle, and offer this to the Lord. The Lord had, the Chaubey family, they were cooking with ghee and spices. And now he's just offering. So one day, Madan Gopal said, Sanatan, every day you're offering me these tasteless meals. Can't you just add a little salt? But all Sanatana Goswami could reply was, Madan Gopal, I'm your eternal servant. But if I get you salt today, tomorrow you're going to ask for ghee. And if I spend my days begging for food and cooking your meals, how will I fulfill the other orders of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? I'll be cooking all day. He wants me to write books. He wants me to wander around Vrindavan and discover all the places of Krishna's pastimes. So he took a little chapati ball, the flour, and placing it into Madan Gopal's hand, Sanatan said, you please accept what I have, and if you want more, you make your own arrangements. We can't imitate this, but Sanatana Goswami wanted the best for his Gopal. So the Lord arranged a pastime where eventually he could worship Madan Mohan in great opulence, like you do here. And many of you know the story, but I know some details you don't know. So it's getting late, and maybe I'll continue the story next year. No? No? Who thinks I should go on? Okay, one day a merchant, his name was Ram Das Kapoor. He was taking 3 boatloads, not just one, the history is 3 boatloads of merchandise, including salt, down the Yamuna from the city of Agra, when his boats got stuck on the sand flats at what we know as Kaliagat. The boats got stuck. So despite all the efforts of Ramdas Kapoor and his sailors, the boats wouldn't move. At that time, again, Madan Gopal was playing nearby with some Brajabasi boys. I just wish I could see it. He's not up on the hill in the swing. He's down below and he's playing with the local boys in the form of a cowherd boy. This is Braj, spontaneous, intimate, loving, devotional service. Vaikuntha's Aishvarya Bhav, sir, yes sir. Vrindavan's much more intimate. Ay lala, you dig. So in his form as a cowherd boy, the deity approached Ramdas Kapoor. He said, sir, this is Madan Gopal speaking, walking around playing with his friends. He said, sir, on top of that hill lives a great saint. Surely he will help you. So hearing this, Ramdas Kapoor, because he had to get the supplies down the river, he climbed up to the top of the hill and he explained his difficulty to Sanatana Goswami. Usually you go to a saint. Kayami. Sir, who am I? Who's Bhagwan? How to reignite my loving relationship with Bhagwan? No, he asked, can you help me move my boats? It's like approaching a millionaire, a crorepati, and asking for 10 rupees. But the nature of saintly persons is they're sympathetic to our struggles. So what did Sanatan do? He took this Ram Das Kapoor to the swing. And now, by this time, the deities, on the swing. And Sanatana Goswami said, down, Dandavat! You're in front of the Lord! Full Dandavat! And you pray to Him to help you. He will help you. So, seeing that something amazing was happening, you're in the association of a saint, it makes your hair stand on end. When we were with Srila Prabhupada, I was always thinking, Prabhupada's not walking, he's floating. And he was always effulgent. Even though we were very young, naive, there was something special just being in Prabhupada's presence. So Ram Das Kapoor, he looked at Sanatana Goswami and he said, saintly person, if the Lord frees my boat and I can get to Agra without being attacked by thieves, I will become extremely grateful. From my profits, I will build your deity, a beautiful temple, right here on top of the hill. Haribol! Just after he said that vow, a huge rainstorm. It was a clear day. All of a sudden this thunderstorm came and heavy rain came down. And as a result, the water level of the Jamuna lifted. The boat started sailing downstream. And this Ram Das Kapoor, he had a divine experience. Brahmanda Brahmatikonya Bhagavanji, Guru Krishna Prasad, Bhai Bhaktilat Bees. We've also had a divine, isn't it? We're wandering since we fell from grace, from the spiritual world. We've been wandering from one Brahmanda, one universe to the next, one species of life to the next, one body to the next, and at one point, some saintly person meets us on the street. Hey, stop! Where are you going? To work. Stop. Your real work is becoming Krishna conscious. How dare you speak to me like that? Yes, and chant Hare Krishna. No, I won't chant Hare Krishna. You just said it. Quickly the purification comes. He takes the invitation, goes home. Something about that boy on the street, something about that festival I saw, something about that singing they had. Chaito Darpana Marjanam, some purification is there. Let me go to the temple. This is divine intervention. Our destiny is to go down, down, down because of our material desires or sinful activities. Either the Lord or his representative or a humble devotee, it's intervention, and you never forget that. All of us know, remember the first time you met devotees? You remember, because it's a deep spiritual experience. So it was for Ram Das Kapoor. So when he sold his merchandise, he came back. And with that money, he built that beautiful temple, Madan Mohan. That was the first temple. Again, let's be clear that he was the first of the Goswamis to find the deity. Built that temple. So even though Vrindavan at that time was jungle, one still required permission to construct something there, because ultimately this is going into great detail, ultimately all lands in that northern part of India were the property of the emperor who lived in Delhi. And at that time, India was ruled by the Muslims, Islam. So the emperor at that time, his name was Akbar, Emperor Akbar. And he was a unique personality. He was very open-minded. He was interested in other religions. He actually formed his own kind of religion. He mixed Islam with Hinduism a little bit, and it wasn't so popular. But he was very open into helping saintly persons. And during the period of the six Goswamis, when the six Goswamis lived in Vrindavan, Emperor Akbar facilitated the six Goswamis. In 1573, Akbar gave Jiva Goswami permission to construct 4 temples in Vrindavan. They could complete the temple of Madan Mohan because it takes a long time to build these temples. He gave facility for constructing Madan Mohan temple, the Islamic emperor. He gave permission for the Govinda Dev temple, for the Gopinath temple, and one for Yugala Kishore. Here we see the government facilitating, like here in India these days. Our Prime Minister, Modi, he's facilitating. He established the temple in Ayodhya and in Vrindavan. He's facilitating, roads and so many things. We consider these pious rulers. So Ramdas Kapoor, with the help of, Akbar and others, completed Madan Gopal's temple in 1580. I'm giving you detail because this is your deity. That's your place of worship in Braj. Prandana Hai, he's the Lord of your life. So all the details, a sign of love. Yes, our Madan Mohan, his temple was completed in 1580. Where'd you hear that? Well, Indradyumna Swami came through and he told us because he researched it. So a lot of land was given by the emperor for producing fruits and flowers. Of course, where's Radha? She wasn't hidden away. Brajanav didn't establish deities of Radha. Actually, it was the wife of Lord Nityananda, Janavamata. She came up with the idea of establishing deities of Srimati Radharani for the deities in Vrindavan. She came there and she saw, where's Radha? Radha is called Anapayini, a name of Srimati Radha. I have one disciple, I named her Anapayini. She was very happy when she heard the meaning. It means she who's never separated from Krishna. Even in Vipralamba Bhav, even when Radha's away from Krishna, she's pining for Krishna. She's thinking of Krishna 24 hours a day. That's also being with Krishna. The nature of love. That's another lecture. So time passed, and the deities in Vrindavan they all became established, very popular. And the son of Maharaj Pachaparudra, you've heard of Pachaparudra? You read Chaitanya Charitamrita? Maharaj Pachaparudra was the king at that time in history of Jagannath Puri. Our saints would go to Vrindavan, they'd go to Mayapur, and they'd go to Jagannath Puri. It's all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We don't go to Disneyland. We go to Puri, we go to Mayapur, Vrindavan. So the son of the king, his name was Purushottam Jana. He heard that these deities in Vrindavan, they didn't have their eternal consort. Who's the eternal consort of Krishna? Vrindavaneshwari Shrimati Radharani K. So he's a pretty amazing person. He said, let's get those. Janavamata has revealed that the deity should be there. So he heard that Madan Mohan and Govindaji were being worshipped without their consorts. And he wanted to render some service to these two lords. So he consulted with the devotees in Puri and sent a well-guarded caravan, listen to this, with 2 deities of Srimati Radharani to Vrindavan, with all the cloths and all the ornaments and other valuable items of worship. The deities were carved, all right, like that, dancing Radha. She's dancing like this. Because if she's dancing, Prabhupada said Krishna will never leave her. Sometimes he leaves her during the rasa dance, but if she's dancing, she'll never leave. So this is history. These 2 deities of Radharani left Jagannath Puri and went all the way to Vrindavan. How long does that take? You got to go by horse cart. Some months. So overjoyed by the arrival of these two deities of Radharani, the devotees in Vrindavan made big arrangements for festivals at Madan Mohan temple, right? And at Govindaji temple. But Madan Gopal, in a very playful way, personally, he changed that plan. What? One night he appeared to the pujari who was worshipping Madan Mohan in the temple and declared, "My dear pujari," this is your Madan Gopal speaking to the pujari, "the two deities who have arrived from Jagannath Puri are not both Radha. The larger ones, Lalita, both should be installed with me." Krishna's so tricky. Sometimes he's naughty. He told the Vijay, these two deities that have been sent from, they're not both Radha. One's Lalita and the other's Radha. I get them all. So the Pujari shared his dream, and it spread throughout Vrindavan. And all the Vaishnavas were in bliss. And they placed the smaller deity, Radha, on Madan Gopal's left, and the larger one, Lalita, on his right. You have Lalita here? Something to think about. So at that time, they changed the name of the deity to Radha Madan Mohan, historically. Now it's described that after this, Sanatana Goswami was lost in the bliss of serving the divine couple day and night. Don't worry about Govindaji. Govindaji also got his Radha. I think historically the one deity being worshipped as Lakshmi Devi in the Jagannath Puri temple appeared in the dream of one of the pujaris and said, "I'm not Lakshmi, I'm Radha." "You're what?" "Yeah, I know. You've been worshiping as Radha for 1,000 years. As Lakshmi, I'm actually Radha." So he woke up and told everybody because he was such a saintly person. People thought, okay. So they sent that deity to Vrindavan, and that deity became the Radha of Sri Govindaji. Now Sanatana Goswami, he was busy. He couldn't do puja all day. So he felt that his blissful service to Madan Mohan was neglecting some other important parts of his mission. So he was brokenhearted but determined, and he prayed, "O Master and Mistress of my heart." This is how he's praying to Radha and Krishna. "O Master and Mistress of my heart." Isn't that sweet? "O Master and Mistress of my heart, please forgive me, but I must attend to other duties given me by Lord Chaitanya." And he gave the deity service to a brahmachari named Krishnadas Brahmachari. It's like I travel with deities. I have very beautiful deities, but this morning I was very busy researching, so I asked my servant to do the puja. Ooh. But we have our duties. So he started traveling, wandering around. He liked to go to Pavana Sarovara, Gokul, Manasi Ganga. These are the bhajan stalis. He would like to go and do bhajan there. It's written, listen to this. Sanatan and Madan Mohan may have been separated by distance, but the deity also always kept a watchful eye on Sanatana Goswami to ensure he was protected and his basic needs were provided for. Wow. Just see. They're separate. He's out at Manasi Ganga, and he's he's wandering. But it's written, they were actually never separated, him and his deity. Because the deity on top of the hill is keeping a watchful eye on Sanatana Goswami to ensure he's protected and his basic needs are provided for. That's Krishna. If you surrender to Krishna, you don't have to worry about your basic needs. Just preach Krishna consciousness. God's no poor man. He'll provide for you. If you serve his mission, he'll take care of you. Actually, Prabhupada told a story, pastime one time. He said, it was Krishna. He told this to one of his secretaries, a very close friend of mine, one of Prabhupada's secretaries in the 1970s. Prabhupada said, I did not want to come to this nasty world, but Krishna asked me to come. And I said to Krishna, but I'm not very much inclined towards austerity. And Krishna said to me, that's all right. You go down to the earth planet and you write books on the science of Krishna consciousness. I'll arrange everything else. And that's what Krishna did. So we can see this, your deity, your Madan Gopal, Madan Mohan, played an important part in the life of Sri Sanatana Goswami. You should have a little extra big picture of Sanatana Goswami on the altar. But it's also meant to play an important part of our lives as well. As we mentioned, there's three deities. We approach Madan Mohan, Gopinath, Govindaji, and Gopinath. We reconnect with Krishna by worshipping Madan Mohan. We cultivate and nurture our relationship by worshipping Govindaji. And we enter into the goal of Krishna consciousness by worshipping the deity of Gopinath, Lord of the Gopis. These three deities are the life and soul of the Bengali Vaishnavas. Prabhupada has written, or Gaudiya Vaishnavas, who have a natural aptitude for living in Braj. You live in Hyderabad, but home is where the heart is. Home is where the heart is. I started traveling when I was 14. I went everywhere, different parts of the world. But I remember I was always thinking of San Francisco. But now I've met Srila Prabhupada, my eternal father, and under his guidance, I'm trying to always think of Shri Vrindavan Ki. So we're attracted to this world, but Madan Mohan means the attractor of Cupid. You know the pastime. Wow. Even Cupidon, we say in French, le Cupidon, he shoots arrows of lust into everyone's heart and we become attracted to this world. But if we worship Madan Mohan, Cupid's attracted to him, so we lose our attraction to Cupid. One Acharya has written, Madan Mohan's enchanting smile draws surrendering souls away from sense gratification, nullifies their attachment to long-standing bad habits, and frees them from the grasp of Cupid. Cupid, go away. You just look at your deity's smile. That will draw you away from any sense gratification. It'll free you from the grasp of Cupid. Another prayer, Jayatam Shirato Pangor, Mama Manda Mater Gati, Matsarvasva Parambojo, Radha and Madan. Glory! Glory to the all-merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors. And the lotus feet, their lotus feet are everything to me. So the whole process of Krishna consciousness is transferring our attachments to this world to Krishna. Prabhupada said one time, just as Rupa Goswami says, just as young boys are attracted to young girls and young girls are attracted to young boys, we all know, let's be honest. He says, with the same intensity, Krishna, let me be attracted to you. We have to fall out of love with this material world into love with Madan Mohan. So that can be done. And Madan Mohan has appeared to all of you also in a very accessible form, because you can't always come to the temple. You have to work to maintain yourself in this world. But he's with you in the form of what? Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. He comes before you in the form of what? His name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. And that's the process. We want to be in front of him as often as possible. When you come here, don't just walk by the altar. Oh, they look good today. I like that outfit. Stand in front of your beloved Lord. Perhaps remember some of the details of this lecture. Love is in the details. We gave you some very interesting information. It must be, your heart must be santushti today. Santushti today, meaning this lecture has fulfilled my heart's desire to come closer to my beloved. Of course, we worship the deities in the mood of awe and reverence. Work now, samadhi later. We follow all the rules and regulations that Sanatana Goswami has given. We can't jump over and say, oh, la, Maharaj said that boy, Chabdi's wife said, la. No, we can't imitate. We have to go step by step. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, X, Y, Z. We follow a prescribed method given by our six Goswamis, specifically Srila Sanatana Goswami. We approach the Lord in the mood of awe and reverence, sir. And when we establish the connection that God is very great and we are very small, then in some distant life we can approach in a deeper level. But still Krishna's our well-wisher. He's our friend. So when you stand before the Lord in all his majesty, his beauty, his grandeur, you pray, just let me become closer to you one day by rendering service to your lotus feet. And throughout the day, you can remember him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. This is the process for awakening our love for your beautiful deity. We don't have to do big austerities, fasting for many months, reading the 3 Vedas, going to the Himalayas, living in a cave, observing vows of silence. No, we just take up this wonderful process as Prabhupada has given it in this age. Chant Hare Krishna, dance in ecstasy, hear some katha, and relish prasadam. And in that light, in that mood, we'll finish today with a verse by Srila Rupa Goswami from his Padyavali. Listen to this. Not by wearing saffron cloth, not by restricting food and other sensual activities, not by living in the forest, not by discussing tons of philosophy, not by observing a vow of silence, but only by taking up the process of devotional service to the lotus feet of Lord Govinda, who enjoys pastimes on the Jamuna's wide banks, can one stop the influence of Kamadev, Cupid. Srila Sanatana Goswami ki, Asad Goswami's Vrindavan Dham ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Madan Gopal ki, Madan Mohan ki, Vrindavaneshwari Srimati Radharani ki, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Nityananda Ram ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Krishna Stand Kirtan Yagya ki, Transcendental Book Distribution ki, Go Premanande! Jai Jai Sri Radhe! Jai Jai Sri Radhe! Jai Jai Sri Radhe! Before I leave you, I want to leave you with something. Usually when a sannyasi comes, he asks for things. My mothers, I'm hungry. Prabhu's give me some money. That's not what I do. I've given a gift of this knowledge, but I'd like to leave these books for you because books are the basis. And Prabhupada said, sannyasis and senior devotees, both men and women, they should write their realizations. They should write about Krishna consciousness. So remember there was some epidemic called COVID, a bad word. During COVID, I was stuck in Vrindavan. Thank you, Srimati Radharani, for 3 years. And I was always traveling. I didn't have much chance to study. But I couldn't even go out of my apartment because COVID was really bad in Vrindavan. I had this whole library of books. So I thought I'll read the books and then I'll give lectures on, I'll give lectures on Vrindavan because Vrindavan's the goal. When a sailor's on the ocean, he's on the ocean. He's always thinking of the land. So we have to think of home. And what's our home? Braj. So I studied and studied and studied. I was giving 3 lectures every week on the Leela Stans, the holy places, on the personalities who've lived in Vrindavan, on the mood of Vrindavan, on the trees of Vrindavan, on the flowers of Vrindavan, on the rivers of Vrindavan, la la la. And it's been going on 5 years now. Every Friday, some of you know, on my YouTube channel, I take something about Vrindavan and I speak. I'm amazed myself. But my disciples have taken those lectures, they transcribed them, and they're producing them in a series called The Sacred Forest of Vrindavan. So last year we published this book. All those Leela places on the western banks of the Jamuna, it's all described in detail here. The different forests, there's many different forests. They're all described in this book here with photos. So when you go to Vrindavan, right, you're going to Vrindavan, and today we're going to go to Madhuvan. There's 10 pages about Madhuvan. Today we're going to go to Talavan, where Dinakasura was killed. Today we're going to Bahuvan, Kamyavan, Kadiravan, all the forests and all the places. The great detail is written. So when you go, you sit with the book. If you don't have someone to take you on Purkham, you read. Wow, now we really understand this holy place. So that was previous, last year. And then we've just come out a few weeks ago with the next book, Eastern Bank of the Jamuna. So if you can't go to Vrindavan, you can reside in Vrindavan by Shabda Brahma. Transcendental sound, isn't it? You hear the glories of Vrindavan in transcendental sound, it's as good as being there. Just like if we chant Hare Krishna, it's as good as being with Krishna. So if you don't know so much about Vrindavan, you don't know where to find a book about it, there'll be 40 volumes eventually. So you can get your first ones here today. First, maybe some of you have the first, but the second's there. And I thought, we're in the land of India, people, Hindi's also popular. So all my lectures about Govardhan Hill, we published in Hindi. Plus, oh my gosh, it's like Christmas. You know, many of you know that I keep a diary the last 40 years. Each year the diary is published, and you know, my adventures, it's just an adventure. Traveling and sharing Krishna consciousness, you know, sometimes the good, sometimes the bad, sometimes the ugly, sannyasis experience. I write about it here. And all those books, we published the 26 favorite chapters, actually edited a little bit for the common people so they can get an introduction. This book was just published by HarperCollins. They came to me, they're a famous pub, you know, Penguin, Carpa. They said, Maharaj, we want to print your books. I said, okay, what's the price? And they printed Adventures of a Traveling Monk, a memoir. This is easy reading. This is like you go to sleep at night, you read a chapter, wow, and you go to sleep and you dream the chapter. It's a book you can give to your friends to introduce them because the words have been adjusted. You know, sometimes our words are hard for people. This is for mass distribution around the world. It's becoming almost as popular as The Journey Home by Radhanath Swami. I'm trying to catch up to him. That's not possible, but anyway. So if you buy any one of these books, I'm going to give that one for free. Okay? So they don't cost very much. 2,500 rupees. per book. But this one you get free, so it's like, this one's 20,000 rupees. I'm giving it free. So I'm going to sit here. I was given a pen. I'm going to show you my pen. Hold on. Zip, zip, zip. The big one, yes. Look at this pen. It's a Mont Blanc. Now, maybe some of you are wealthy businessmen. This is like, the prime minister, the presidents, they have these pens, like $1,000. I was on a plane coming from London to Delhi. I sat next to a man. He said, like, what in the world are you wearing a dress for? I said, sir, it's called a dhoti. A khropi? He couldn't say. Said, like, what's the pigtail? And you look very strange. I said, well, you look strange to me. Depends what your perspective is. He said, how dare you speak to me? I said, well, you spoke to me first. He said, okay, you win. Like, tell me about yourself. So I gave him the book. And he read it on the flight. And at the end, the plane was landing. He said, Indradyumna Swami, I am so sorry. I spoke to you like that. I didn't know who you were. I said, look, I'm nothing but the humble servant of my spiritual master. I'm a reflection, a little ray of his glory. So he said, anyway, I want to give you this pen. He said, this pen has signed $1 million, crores of rupees contracts. I'm giving it to you. I said, I can't accept it. He said, I'm a monk. He said, please, please. I said, okay, I'll use it in the service of my spiritual master to sign the books of that which is very dear to him, Sri Vrindavan Dham. So I took it. Once Prabhupada gave me his charter, because I was going to preach in France. I was 19. I was very nervous. So he took out his charter. He said, here, Indradyumna. A gift from a Vaishnava is a very special thing. So I took it like that. Then he said to me, come back. He said, sit down. How old are you? 19. You go to France and you help the devotees preach Krishna. Prabhupada, I don't speak France. That doesn't matter. You sing Hare Krishna. Then he gave me an instruction, very serious. He said, you preach boldly and you always have faith in the holy names. Now go. So I took the charter and those instructions, and that's been my life. So I accepted this as a gift. The person wasn't a Vaishnava, but he had affection somehow for Krishna consciousness. So I'm going to sign the books today. I'll show you my signature, because it's a big pen. Hold on. Anyway, Hare Krishna. So I have this pen. So I'll sit here for about 60 minutes. And then I've been talking about prasadam this whole class. I'm going to go home and get something to eat. Some nice Bhagavad prasadam. So, yes, I've so much enjoyed being in your association. I just love your deities. They're the best deities in the whole world. I've been everywhere. Now, I'm not saying it to flatter you. I've been everywhere. I just remember Prabhupada, sitting and watching the installation. It's very seared in my mind like a samskara. I remember that day when we installed, or he installed as the Acharya, your beauty. That's not all deities were installed in Prabhupada's presence. We can call upon Prabhupada to install it, but there we were. I kept looking up. They're so tall and they're so beautiful. It's there. So when I come here, it's very emotional for me to be in front of your deities, and you're all their servants, so it's very emotional for me to be with all of you. And I thank you so much for your association this weekend. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. As Maharaj said, we have all these books available here at the table for purchase. You can either pay by cash or UPI.
My secretary.
If each book costs 2,500 rupees and you get the Adventures book as free with the book. Once you purchase the book, there will be a line formed here and you can come here and get the books from Maharaj. And just one second. They have a simple request if you could hand over certificates to 15 devotees.
These are
Who completed some marathon.
After the book signing.
He's asking, can we do it after the books?
These are congregation leaders who
Yeah.
completed teachers training course.
I think we'll lose some momentum.
Okay, the line is there. Let me go.
Hare Krishna. So we'd like to thank His Holiness Indradyumna Swami Maharaj for his wonderful description of how Madan Mohanji came, and this was most memorable